Day 2001, welcome back. We're taking care of some administrative work here to kick off the working week on a Tuesday, since yesterday was a holiday. We got a 2002 530D introduction for E39 source. Download is concluding here in about now. It's Black 02 530D, probably an auto. Oh, it's not making this easy for us. Anyways, thing looks pretty nice, and that'll have to get uploaded tonight, probably publishing tomorrow on Wednesday. We've got some shaky camera work though, so I'll take care of that. He's already submitted a thumbnail, which is nice. I don't have to do that. I got through a ton of emails, a lot of comments from you guys yesterday. I appreciate that. I used to reply to everybody, but when there's like 30 on a page, just take this as my token of appreciation for your continued support. Boy, that sounded rehearsed, but it was not. So before it gets super hot and humid today, I'm going to go out and cut some grass over there. Mine needs it pretty badly too, although I think I'm just going to do that tomorrow. I'm trying to do one a day. I just keep things easier, and the two across the street are very much under control. So that's the first part of the day. I'm not planning on going to the pool. I don't think I have anything else big today. Unless anything comes up, I'm probably going to come out here, jack the front, put it on stands. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll let, because I may want to take off that tray. But I'll probably jack the front, put it on stands, leave the jack under the front subframe, pull this wheel, and see just what the hell's going on down here. No more drips overnight, but I'm guessing that if I push on this, yep, there it is, and that's a hell of a lot, all accumulating overnight, which I'm now going to have to clean up. Yep, do that later. Okay, so I got the yard down across the street. It looks really nice, and now makes mine look really bad. So mine's on docket for tomorrow. It's growing like crazy, as usual in the spring. So when I got the car back, I got it last Wednesday, then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it showed thunderstorms every day. Aside from that one shower when I was driving home from Cleveland area, I don't even remember what day that was, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, one of those days. Aside from that, it's been dry, really hot, really humid. Today's a little hazy, but I'd still consider it pretty sunny. And I really need to get the pump in the creek and have the ability to water, although I don't think I would, at least for a couple more days. I'm going to mow here tomorrow, as I said. I might water after that, but that involves going back there and the mosquitoes and the spiders and putting that in, and I'm not going to do that now. Now, as all of you guys correctly inferred, I am going to diagnose what the heck is leaking and why. And I really hope there's like a hose that's unplugged or a pump that came out of seat and I can just snap it back on there. I doubt that's the case, but it's kind of a pain in the ass because I've got to push the car all the way back, break these lugs free, jack it up in the center, let it rest on the stands on the front 2 points, take the fender liner out. Then if I need to take the bottom tray out, I'm going to have to support it by the center the center jack point again, this front subframe. So I can take this jack stand out and get under there and remove that. My battery light's flashing, so I'm going to swap batteries, put some gloves on, get going, and hopefully find something wrong very shortly. Oh, here we are. Tools are out, fender liner's out. Look at this big clump of mud up here on the fender liner. I think I may take this thing out in the yard and hit it with a hose. Nothing's cracked or broken. The fender liner's in good shape, it's just really dirty. I've never had it out before. And here's what we find. Pretty greasy, not greasy, just dusty, dirty chassis and washer fluid reservoir. But before we get into that, I briefly cleaned up this control arm over here. And you can see the new motor mount there with the part number sticker still on it. The car is supported by 2 jack stands, and there's some of the weight still on the jack. So, into the washer fluid. Those are brake lines. You can see a brand new something line there that's really pretty. These are the stainless ECS lines. So here's the hose coming down from where you fill the reservoir up under the hood. Hose comes down and goes into the tank right here. And this whole thing is the tank. And then we have a pump for the headlight washer system, which is this pump here. And then the other pump is for the windshield washer system, right here. You can also see that all of this is pretty well covered in Silverstone metallic paint, which I find quite funny because this rocker's been redone and he obviously didn't care to mask that stuff off in there, and I can't say I'm mad about it. So, interesting thing is the level, you can see the level is right here, perfectly in line with where the hose plugs into the tank. So I'm guessing if I go up under the hood right now and pour a bunch of water in there, or washer fluid or whatever, it is going to leak from either this junction, it's going to be that junction, because all of this down here is dry. I don't see any indication of where the pumps seat into the tank. I don't see any indication of leaks there. These hoses look fine. These hoses are all dry and surprisingly limber. I don't even think that needs to be replaced. All of that is in good shape. It's just right there. So it's even dry over there, really. There's no water droplets. I think I'm just gonna go up there and pour a bunch of fluid in there and see what happens. I think this is the level sensor. I think that would be fair to say. It's got a wire going to it out of the harness, so that's probably the level sensor. Really, I could just fill this thing up. Oh, now that I say that, now there's fluid there. See that? Was it because I moved it? Alright, I'm gonna go pour water in there and play and see what happens. And Kenan, by the way, what's screwed up on your car is this thing. Right here, this was hanging down, so we kinda need to... That's a poor design, actually, I don't like that. I'll have to figure that out. Well, I filled it up, or I hit this can and I filled that with water and poured it in. And I think I'm wrong. It's not leaking there, that's dry. It appears to be where this pump seats. So I'm gonna drain the tank to the best of my ability, because it's way up here now. And check that grommet, give everything a thorough cleaning and reassemble it. Try that. Alright, so I pulled the float out here. This was the level sensor that sat like this, and it's very nice and mechanical. The level rises up, closes the circuit, it's good. Level dips down, uh-oh. Turn the light on the dash. That's how that works. That's original and in fine condition. It's got a grommet on it and just pushes into the tank. None of this is really under any sort of pressure, so it doesn't require a whole lot to seal it. I unplugged the hose from the tank. I removed the whole damn tank. It's gone. I was left with the wiring harness and a bunch of hosiery. So I took all that out. I cleaned this pan out to the best that I can. I don't want to take it off because then I have to move the jack. So that's been cleaned out. I took the intensive pump out as well. This doesn't do anything anymore because the line goes right there and it's just that white thing in the middle of the screen. That's just a dead end. So if I push that button, I suppose it would pump out. I probably just won't plug the pump back in. So in case anybody pushes the button, it won't fill my fender liner with washer fluid. That's one of these harnesses. I think it's the big one. Oh, I hope they're different. Yes, they are different. Thank you, BMW, for making those connectors different so you can't plug them in the wrong place. I took out, like, what is this, a 2-gallon bucket? So a little over a gallon, so what is that, about 4 liters of fluid. Here's the tank itself. I'm going to take this in the yard, hit it with a hose really well. There's a plastic weld there on the bottom. It's not a weld, it's when they cast these things, plastic mold line in the bottom of it, and I'm going to make sure that that is not cracked or leaking. And then I'm going to take these grommets out, clean all that up really well, put it back together and test it. And if I have to buy new grommets, then that's going to suck because I'm going to have to do all this preparation work to get to it again. I also degreased a little bit in here. I'm not really worried about it, but I have that Z6 is not Z6. It's very high power degreaser. But it's not bad. I don't see any chassis rust in there, so that's good. So I'm going to clean this out, clean and seal all of the sealing surfaces, all the rubbers, put it together and test. Alright guys, here's the diagnosis. I cleaned everything and reassembled and then totally filled it up to the point where it was almost ready to overflow up at the tank. And there's 2 leaks now. So one is here for the headlight washer pump, where the hose goes onto the headlight washer pump is dripping every couple of seconds. And then this here, this is the washer pump, and the pump itself is leaking in the plastics up there. So I'm thinking we need a new pump and grommet, and then I'm going to seal this one shut permanently because I don't use the system. I've deleted the washers, so we're just going to delete it in entirety. Back together for now. I added some parts to the ECS sorter that's pending right now. Here's what we're going to do. I still have the reservoir out. I didn't bother putting it back in for a couple of days here. We're not replacing the tank. We're not replacing the level sensor or grommet. I'm not replacing the vent valve. I'm replacing the this pump and the grommet and the filter for the washer system. That sits down here in that first small hole, so we'll have a new pump, grommet, and filter on that. I'm deleting the intensive washing headlight washer pump, so that will go away. And then that leaves us with this big hole here. Now that's a problem. So, and I was at Walmart buying more towels and gloves. Picked up some waterproof all-purpose silicone and folded up with that. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I'm going to let this thing dry for quite a while, and then it's kind of already dry. And then we'll see what happens if I don't know, put some pressure on that, poke and prod it. If that doesn't work, I'll poke it out and come up with something better. But it says waterproof, so we'll see how that does by plugging that up. And then that should fix the problem, because it's dry here, it's dry here. As long as I make it dry there, then I only have to worry about that seal. The only concern now is I'm probably going to be dealing with a dang check washer fluid level. Oh, who sat here last? Warning for the next several days until I get that fixed. I don't know if it'll tell me in position 2 or not. Fasten seat belts. Yeah. Fasten seat belts. Range 31 miles. We need gas. Anything else? Oh, god damn it. Washer fluid low. So we're gonna have ding, check, washer fluid low notifications now for today's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday probably. I should have put that sensor in and zip tied it in the up position so it thinks it's full. This is Hale Farm Village. I remember coming here as a kid, like 1st or 2nd grade. We all came out here as a field trip, and we made candles and we did something in a barn, and it felt like it was way out in the country farmland. It's like 20 minutes from my house, 25 minutes, and we get a beautiful sunset behind the Ohio hills, and it's closed. Hale Farm and Village. And if we go down this road a ways, I think there's a covered bridge. But we're in Barn Town, this Barnville out here. Very appropriately listening to John Denver. Thank God I'm a country boy. Yes, I love that song. Sweet. You don't get the city sets. Like, there's the little church over there, another barn. We should do a photo shoot out here for Timmy Fest or something. Oh, the road's getting bad. I'm pretty sure the covered bridge is up here that can no longer be driven over. I should really downshift. We're testing those connecting rod bearings. I drove out here last June with, I want to say, Hassan. We were out just driving the car while everybody else were, I don't know, doing something else. And oh, there's people up here. Okay. Oh, it's somebody. Yeah, that's right. Somebody lives out here too, which is pretty cool. Way out in the middle of nowhere. Yep. Road closed ahead. Rough road, 15 miles per hour. I can see why. The road is closed. Man, if we could park our cars in that bridge for a photo shoot, though, that would be so cool. But it is very permanently closed down. And I probably filmed this when I was here last year. Yeah, I don't want my car going in the river. That's sweet though. So I ended up getting in about 50 miles today. It was at 4:03 I think last night. I'm at 4:53 now, which means if I'm able to get out tomorrow for any reasonable amount of time, we'll hit our 500 and we'll technically be highway ready to an extent. I'll probably let it get up to around 700 and then I'll text Tom or I'll stop in there and say, how's a couple hour highway drive down to Columbus and then sitting on a lawn for 4 hours and a couple hours back sound. I don't foresee any problems with that. Everything's great so far. I do need to top off the coolant since I took a bunch out. Not a bunch, but a couple turkey bastard fulls out. And it's below the happy line by like, you know, a tiny bit. Well, probably a quarter cup in cooking terms. I gotta clean it again. There's bugs all over the place from driving at night. But that's not my concern right now. Having the ass end sticking out the driveway, sticking out the garage for a little bit today, the back got totally covered in pollen in 4 hours. We don't even have any oak trees, but they do next door and it blows over. So that was today, really. I got up, I did my online work. I got caught up on that. I went next door and I mowed. I came over here and I played with the washer fluid reservoir and figured out what I need on that. I added those parts to an existing order. I cleaned up, I had dinner, I went on a drive, I came back, I did another catch up, about 2 hours. I just watched an episode of House of Cards, did more freaking online catch up and WordPress comments and all kinds of stuff. Now I'm done and I'm gonna go shower and go to bed and do it all again tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna mow here, then I'm helping Megan's friend move a couch or some furniture or something in the afternoon. And then I don't know what's going on tomorrow night. What is tomorrow? Wednesday? I have no idea. I can probably put this away. It's still wet. Stuff takes forever to dry because I can't get anything in there to dry it. Okay, I'm going to bed. Hope you had a good Tuesday. Enjoyed 2001. We'll talk in 2002. Good night.